In today's episode of Talks for 10, we hear from a 23-year-old Amy Winehouse. It's not been long since the release of Rehab and her fame is about to go next level. Sadly, she will pass only 4 years after this interview. But here, we hear from a bright, engaged and funny Amy, who speaks to us in her own inimitable way about life, love and music. Amy begins by discussing her upcoming second album, Back to Black. Enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's because I was very enthusiastic about doing a second album and the material I had. I think that made it a lot easier.
So, I mean, you've been quoted as saying, if I haven't done it, I just can't put it into a song. It has to be autobiographical.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So let's go back. Rehab.
Okay. Well, in all truth, my managers did. I had a particularly bad episode. And I had to go and stay with my dad for a bit, and my managers came to my dad's house and said, we want to take you to this place. And I said, what happens if I don't want to go? Because, to each their own, but for me, if I can't sort myself out, then I don't, I don't know if it's being a woman, being a Jewish woman, or just being me, like being really hard-headed, I think if I can't sort myself out, then no one can sort me out.
I mean, there must have been a lot of pressure on you, when your first album did so well.
Well, it wasn't a singles album. It sold well as a whole album.
That's it, yeah.
And so based on that and based on the fact that they knew they couldn't make me do anything, because if they rushed me, it wouldn't turn out good. I think based on that, they just left me to it. To the point where they even came to me a couple of years after Frank came out and said to me, "Do you even want to make a record?" And I was like, "No, I do."
But when you get to that certain stage, that certain level of fame, there's going to be people digging at you all the time. I was watching a telly last night and there was a programme. Do you see that thing on last night about celebrity weight loss and things like that?
No.
And they were like, and they had all sorts of experts talking about you and other celebrities. But like I thought, I'm talking to her tomorrow, so I was obviously more interested in you, and talking about how your weight loss and really personal things. How does that? How do things like that affect you? Did you just look over your head or?
Yeah, it kind of goes over my head. It's not like my friends sitting around going, "Why is she so thin?" Well, it's speculation. It's like I said, people have got it keeps people busy. Like everyone's got to do something with their time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I can sing songs that make me happy. That I wrote about stuff that I'm lucky that I get to give myself therapy every day by singing songs about a really tough time in my life. Not everyone can do that. Everyone's got to go and talk about other people. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky. Other people aren't so lucky. I don't care if they want to talk about me. They can do whatever they want. As long as they can go home and go, "Oh, I had a good day," or whatever.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the music. You work with Mark Ronson.
Yes.
Again. He's the man of the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a finger in a lot of mince pies. Yeah.
With people like Lily Allen, Robbie Williams, Christina Aguilera. How do you pin him down? How long do you work with him?
Well, the thing is he kind of worked with me a lot more Lily and I actually. He worked with us a lot more personally than he did Christina and Robbie. And the things with Marcus, he's quite prolific anyway, but in hip hop circles, not so much in pop circles. And I didn't even run to him. It was my publishing company. We're both published by EMI. The guy who runs my publishing company kind of was trying to get us together. And Mark's just like really laid back guy. He's really cool. So he's just like, "Oh, whatever he trusts me." But I think from Hello, we kind of just got, we just got it. We got each other. We get on as well professionally, as well personally as we do professionally. So it was just a nice little mix. And I think I know he's been working with some high profile people, but for him, with like he and I, being that he plays guitar as well and piano, and I play guitar and piano, it's a lot more hands-on, and we were a lot more prolific. We did a lot more, which isn't me trying to go, but I really worked with him. I didn't just blah blah blah. It just happens that we did do a lot more work together than the others. Him and Lily get on great, but like stuff like I was with him when he got the Christina mixes, and he was listening to the finished product, just thinking, and I could see his face, just like he was like mortified. He was like, "I didn't do this." Like they've obviously taken what he's done and like mixed it over 1,000,000 times, and they've sent it back to him.
And he wasn't happy with it.
He was just like, "This isn't my stuff." He's very sweet, Mark. He's a really lovely fellow.
What is it in your past or your growing up that got you this ready and this talented, this developed so quickly? Do you think? That sounds like such a brown nose and question, doesn't it?
No. My boyfriend just walked in and I just melted a bit. I was like, "Oh, he's here." I think it was because I think it's just because I'm very spiritual. I've always been very spiritual. My nan was a white witch. I've always been aware of other things around you rather than what's presented to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really that. I'm quite immature. You know, like I'm quite stubborn.
You can still be a little girly, like.
Yeah, quite stubborn, and I do whatever I want, and I'm selfish and stuff. But I'm very selfless as well. I don't know. I don't really think I am older than my years.
But I've been really looking forward to talking to you again because I dine out on that story that you know when you signed Frank, your copy of Frank to me. I know your boyfriend's just walked in, but I don't want to kick anything off, Frank. No. But you signed it. What was it? I know you didn't buy this album, but that is fine because I used to fancy you when I was 9.
I did,
and I've been dining out on that. Thanks for the anecdote.
That's funny. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go on.
I was talking the other day about how. There's that bit. It's in series 1. I know I did used to fancy you in series 1, and you're watching It's a Wonderful Life, and you're like drinking a beer milkshake or something and eating cereal, and it's the bit where he's in the bank and he's got his honeymoon money, and he goes, "How much do you want, Mrs. Someone?" And she goes, "I have $12 or $17," and the bit where you spit out all the cereal on yourself. I was talking about that the other day because I just thought it was so because we were talking about It's a Wonderful Life.
Well,
anyway,
you know, I'm glad I've been so instrumental in your upbringing, in your development as an artist.
That's funny.
You know I'm no good. Let's talk about that.
You know I'm no good is about, scenarios where, I've just thrown myself into a moment without giving it much thought, and having been caught out in a moment, I'm just saying, well, I told you I'm not a very nice girl.
It's a bit sexy, the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics are a bit sexy. My boyfriend's now looking through the window at me like he wants to kill me.
What? Why? What have I done?
No, it's me. What
about me and Mr. Jones then?
Me and Mr. Jones is about how I used to go out with this fella who, between me and him, because he worked for a record company, and I, I'm a singer, we used to be able to get guest list for pretty much everything. There wasn't anything we couldn't really go to. Yeah. But if one of us couldn't, the other one would always sort the other one out. And there was one time at Jazz Cafe and Slick Rick was playing, and I wanted to go, and he just wasn't. I don't know what he was doing. Head was in the clouds, and then I was like, "That's cold. That's Slick Rick. That's Slick Rick. How dare you?" But when Nas played Brixton, he still didn't get back to me. I was like, "Okay, Slick Rick is one thing, but Nas." I was like, "You know what?" And I just kicked off, and it's just me and Mr. Jones is really because Nas's name is Nasir Jones. I'm just saying about how. It's my Nas song. I think I've got to have a Nas song on every record.
But like, you're one of those people that you really don't want to fall out with because you'd be really worried about ending up in a song. I mean, stronger than me for a start. I mean, you'd really worry about ending up in a song if you pissed you off. Is that true?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You sound like Etta James on that, me and Mr. Jones. I mean,
thanks.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, it's real full on as well. It sounds like it was recorded 40, 50 years ago.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. That's a nice compliment. I mean, someone said to me the other day, like, did you intend to record it with the analog and something like some old sound or something? And I was like, what? Well, I didn't even understand the question.
Well, it is. I mean, it does sound like it's sort of like but I'm not saying it's retro. I'm not saying that, but it does sound as though it's been recorded then, and it's like a long lost, forgotten gem from some black soul great from the 50s or early 60s.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure. I'm just chatting you up. Tell your boyfriend that.
That's the kind. He can probably hear you. That's the kind of. No, he can hear you. That's the kind of thing I've been listening to. That's all.
That's it.
And I guess
that's the sort of stuff we play on this show as well. That's why when I heard it, I was thinking, hang on a minute, Amy's been listening to my show. I was thinking, would you say you've got an unusual vocal style? Because it is quite an unusual vocal style, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean. To me, if someone said you sing so or you sound different, you sound unique, that's the biggest compliment anyone could ever say, rather than you're a good singer. To say you sound different, it is. I wouldn't say, I stand apart, I'm so different, because I'm not a mimic, but everything I listen to, I take on board. So maybe I am, but I don't know. Back to Black is my boyfriend's favourite one, actually. He always sings it, and I'm like, that's about someone else. He's like, shut up, I love this song. But he's got a song. He's just written an album about what horrible girl I am.
Has he really?
But I love a couple. Like, there's a few of his songs that I just can't get out of my head. Like, certain days I just can't get them out of my head, and I'll be singing them. And like it's just us singing songs about how much we hate.
Amy, you sound really loved up.
No, he's a lovely fella. He's too good for me, I'll tell you that. He's lovely.
You sound really loved up. Wedding bells or what?
I don't know, Alex.
Would you do that?
I don't know. We ask each other to marry. Like we're always like, "Will you marry me?" We do it every day. But you know, we're very like. One day he goes to me, "Will you marry me?" I went, "Alex, no." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Alex, we're like babies. What's wrong with you? I love you. Isn't that good enough?" No. I love you. What?
Amy, it's been great to talk to you again. I'm glad it's going really well for you. You sound really happy and you sound in love. And keep going. I can't wait for the third album now as well.
All right.
And don't let them grind you down, babe.
Never, ever. You too.